Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions, as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. First down at Stafford. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. And they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. To throw is Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Geis. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180! 357. Watch left. Here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Wentz going to go to Clement here out of the backfield. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Go. 280! Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. 74.
Into the red zone. Wentz. And that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Wentz. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down in the hands of the wrong team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Ladies!
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford looking middle, and it's incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On first down, they run with Howard. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Geis. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Sunday, Sunday! Sunday, Sunday!
Geis. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Everyone, we got 4 down.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Wentz throwing complete to Arcega-Whiteside, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wentz to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Watch tight. Tight end's right. 4 down.
This by 7.
To throw, it's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Let's shift now and discuss Deshaun Jackson. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Ertz has it left side. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Wentz's throw into the hands of Aguilar. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Wentz now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Geis. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Geis. He will push his way down to about the 14.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it and often in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume, here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Running from the gun with Howard. And an alley to run. And he doesn't quite make it. Taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come out here in the eye.
Man, 5-7.
On the ground, Geis. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go, one more.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway.
Let's go. Do it.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Wentz going to throw. He'll hit Jackson, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. On 2nd and 7, Stafford. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Stafford delivers this to Hockenson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Here we go, D.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
Here's McKissick. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll go again with McKissick. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
They start on the ground with Geis, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Howard. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Mark 56.
Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Hey, we got 4.
From the red zone now, Wentz. Now they set up the screen for Clement. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Back to the ground game now with Geis. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Here we go. Waiting.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Darius Geis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Oh, the lonely punter inside their own 20 figured for sure they were punting this away. They did not, and the move does not pay off.
You think someone put up the stop signal when he started to trot over the sideline? Nope, no, son. We're going to go for it here. Usually when you see a team do these types of things, it's because they're so dominant that they don't believe that they can get beat. This is much more of what you see in a high school game, maybe some of those mismatched college games. But in the NFL, any given Sunday is a phrase they take seriously. And guess what? That was probably going to backfire.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Man, I got you. Fight for it.
Go.
Here we go, D.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he will have a first down here, but I have a feeling it's not going to be for long. They're already walking backwards. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On third down, this is Howard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll run with McKissick. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I'm going to get you all.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and 2, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing is Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Now a throw here to his running back. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting. To avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Now a carry for Sanders. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's the backup Kaiser. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Howard. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run with Geis, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 48-yard line. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
And they will take a knee here. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
You got 3 down, 3 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Eagles, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.